how did you come to do this training? What was the thing that you felt? Was it a soul's calling? Was it a mind thing? How did it occur that you ended up doing this training?
Oh, that's it's quite interesting actually because it happened in a moment. It was back in 2021, I think it was, and I was feeling really lost, really lost. Like I didn't know what to do with myself. I had a nice life, everything I needed, so I wasn't looking for love or money, nothing special, but I was just feeling really lost. And my father, when he was alive, used to be my guide in many ways. And I mean, he had been gone for a while already, but I remember sitting on a bench and thinking, I'm lost. I need some guidance here. And I just found myself doing something I hadn't done for a long time, which was praying. And I asked my
Mm.
guardian angel to just send somebody on my path or else put me in a direction. But I didn't even know what I needed really. And a couple of days later, this student of mine came up with this Munaiki program. And she said, oh, there is this shaman coming from Romania and she's doing the Munaiki. It's a shamanic thing. And I was like, oh no, what shamanic? No, scary thing. And this is why it's funny because literally, first thing I said was, oh, I'm not available, which wasn't true. But I was so like, no, 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 this is not for me. But then I felt something like really, I would say in my stomach, really like in my solar plexus, pushing me forward, like, no, but you want to know what that is. And so I said, oh, but just for the sake of it, what is it all about? And I read the program and then I thought, okay, I'm going just to see what that is. But I was really, I don't know, it was the first time I really felt like, should I not? But something was really pushing me. And I think, yeah, that was a call. It was really, I need to see, I need to know. And as soon as that was Violetta, of course, and
Mhm.
as soon as Violetta started to talk about the Munaiki and traditions and the Inca people, I just literally fell in love with the whole thing, which was very strange for me because I was raised in a very Catholic religious background without it being extreme, but
Mm.
I had certain beliefs, and then all of a sudden I was projected into this world connection to nature, and I was like, oh, this is not me, but how fascinating that is. And then what happened really, and this is what opened the door for me, is that that day, the first day of Munaiki, I spoke to Violetta and I said like, and I was almost in tears, I didn't even dare saying the words, but I told her, do you think that somebody like me could ever become like a healer? And I was like crying, and she just burst into laughter. And she said, gosh, if you're asking yourself the question, you're already a healer. And
Mm.
that was the beginning. And
Mm.
if I can say something, this is what I love, which is what I really love about this medicine and this tradition, is that it is truly open to anyone who's curious enough to push the door and start listening and watching. And I felt such generosity. Of course, I felt it through Violetta back then, but then it was the beginning and it continued on and on and on. And with you, of course, and all the people I've met through your school, all this generosity of course you can. There's
Mm.
room. There is more room for you, for more people. And I felt like, wow.
Yeah,
So yeah, maybe I can.
yeah,
And I can.
yeah.
Yeah.
And here you are. And here
Pardon.
you are doing exactly that.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to ask you something because in the beginning of what you were saying, and I think this is true for a lot of people, particularly if you have a specific religious background, and we're all I have a religious background. It's not Catholic, but I absolutely have a connection, a faith, if you like. But but what was it that scared you then? You said something about it was really the word shaman was really scary for you.
Yeah.
So do you know where that came from or what that was about?
Um, I guess I have, like many people. the wrong image, the wrong idea, you know, around shamans and shamanism altogether. I saw them like sorcerers, you know, very mysterious, very, I don't know. I was connecting them to drugs and, you know, something that quite dark, I have to say, because
Yeah.
I didn't want to go there, and yet, this is why I'm so surprised at myself, because even though I had all these wrong beliefs about it, I just wanted to see. I had this urge in me physically, and I could not, you know, when you're a kid, like, and there's like a door, and you just want to see what's behind. And I knew it was good for me, despite all that I could ever believed in before. And another thing that really helped me is that I never felt like this tradition is asking me to make a choice. I never felt like, oh, it's either this or that. Never. And you know, how liberating is that? Like, of course, I mean, I can keep some of the things I used to believe in. I just dropped the guilt, which was a gift in itself. And that was my choice. That was my choice. But yeah, I mean, that there is room for everything. But I was scared for sure. Spirits, whoa, what's that? You know, like, oh my God. No, nothing
Yeah,
like that.
I think we think of the darkness as being, you know, things that are dark being scary. But for me, I think what I've learned is that when you're willing to go into the dark, you will discover the light, and you bring the light out of the dark into the light. And I think this for me is the gift of the shaman, that we have that willingness to do that, rather than to banish the dark to the dark forever. You know, it's
Well,
a very
yeah, well,
strange thing, isn't it?
but that was the idea, right? There is light, there is darkness, and they can't
Mm.
be together. So you have to make your choice. So
Mm.
I thought I had made one, but what I realized later on is that I needed to make peace with all those darkness, you know,
Yeah,
those dark
completely.
sides in me. For example, I never wanted to be angry. I had consciously or unconsciously decided that anger was something really bad, so I couldn't go with it. I was kind of too good for that. But I was pushing it down, and well, it made me sick, eventually physically sick. And
Exactly.
I wouldn't understand when people got angry, because it was something that was pushing away. So now I'm making peace with my own anger. And how good is that?
Yeah,
How good? Yeah, it is.
and the same goes for all of those, what we've been told are negative feelings,
Yeah.
negative emotions that we're not allowed to have. And of course, I'm going to say that the shadow workshop or the shadow work that we do during the training, but also as a separate entity on its own, I think is so important, because whatever we've pushed away, we've made it wrong somehow.
Yeah.
And therefore, we can't be whole. How can we be whole if, bits of us are somewhere else, stuffed away? And of course, it, like you say, it makes us sick. So why
Yes.
would we want to do that? But it's, having the tools and the structure in which to work is, I think, so important.
Well, it changes everything really. And this is, again, this is something I found in shamanism, in this type of shamanism, because I believe there are others as well.
Yes,
But in this
true.
particular type of traditions, there is no guru, there is no, like, you're not asked to go back and see your shaman regularly. Otherwise, oh my God, it's nothing like that. You're given tools. You're given tools, you're given advice when you reach out. So there is always somebody available when I need so. And I've learned to ask for help. And I always receive help in such a compassionate way, in such a loving way. There's no judgment. I never feel judged. How good is that? Like, I can be myself, and I can be very wrong in all the ways possible. And I love that, because it's new to me. I thought I had to be perfect, you know? I want to be good. I
Yeah,
wanted to be a good girl. I don't need to be.
yeah.
No. So yeah, I like that I have tools that I can use every day. Every day. When I feel
Exactly.
bad or when I feel good. I can just enhance my feeling good. And yeah, it's
And
magical,
yeah,
really.
and it's a way of life, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
like, yes, you've got tools in your toolbox, but it's also the way that we live, and rather than something that we keep just specially for a workshop,
Yes.
it's like when we live it, then our life becomes a sacred thing, you know.
Oh, yeah. And there is something I really would like to say for whoever is going to listen to this, is that I really thought there was just a very limited number of people who could ever have access to all of this.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I started to walk this path, some friends of mine wanted to be nice and they offered me books, you know, about shamans and stuff. And I always read these stories of people, you know, who had these incredible lives. You know, they were children and they were already talking to birds and having these incredible experiences. And I thought, I am nothing like that. You know, I never thought as myself as being connected to nature. You know, I grew up in a city. I didn't speak with stones or trees
Mhm.
and yet there is this opening. It's in us. It's in
Mhm.
everyone, really. And
Yeah.
you know, this door is now open, and I feel a whole different world of different feelings now. And yes, yeah, I hear now the voice of the stones, the voice of the trees.
Mm.
I never thought it would be possible. Never.
Yeah. And that's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Because, yeah, you think, like you're saying, you think, well, it's other people that can do that, not me. But
Yes.
actually, you know, we're born with this connection to everything. Born with this empathic connection to all things. And what happens to us is slowly but surely we shut that down.
Yes.
And now, like, I love the fact that, you know, you're opening the door to that. You're opening your own heart to that, which is the doorway. And now you can not just do it, but actually share that with people, get
Yes.
other people to see and feel how all of these things are possible. And even I'm going to say that what I love, and I'm going to go back to the religious side of things, but Jesus said, what I can do, you can do.
Yes. I mean, if he said so, really, like, come on. But and yet we forget. You know, I mean, we are conditioned to believe that we always need somebody else to do it for us. You know,
Absolutely.
there will be
Yeah.
people who maybe will heal us, so but we need to
Mhm.
deserve it first, and there is all
Mhm.
these conditions, and it's so limiting. And
Yeah.
I had bought the whole package, so like many people, I think, you know, I really lived
Yeah.
feeling, well, okay, I need to be good, I need to deserve this, I need somebody who will come and save me, will come and help me. And yeah, we do need people, of course, because it's community is a treasure,
Mm.
but we have it in us. We
Yeah.
have it
Yeah.
in us, and this
Absolutely.
is what you showed us.
I
And
think,
it's
yeah.
like, wow, it was a major discovery. Like, oh, really? Really?
Yeah. But it requires, maybe the thing that we need is for somebody to press the button and say, you can do this, you
Yeah.
know, to wake us up to
Yes.
ourselves. Because you're right, we're born, you know, we're born able to connect with everything. And then we shut all of that down in order to mm, be accepted in our family, our culture, our society. We all want to be perfect. We all want to be good boys and
Yeah.
girls and do the right thing, and or not. Then we become the rebel, which is still not the real
Yeah.
us. You know, we're rebelling against everything, either which way. But inside of us is that, you know, that little, I call it a flame, a little seed that is planted in us when we come. And that seed, when it pops open and starts to grow, is such a magical thing. That you need, sometimes we do need somebody to just go, to wake up, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe Violetta did that for you, and I had teachers doing that for me along the way. And then it's important to that you know, otherwise we can be totally blind to our potential.
Oh,
So
completely.
yeah,
Completely. I
we,
mean, I know I realized I can do things that I never thought I would. But
mm,
even in my practical life, because I've
mm,
started believing in myself and seeing things in a different way and
yeah,
not
totally.
fearing to fail that much as I used to do. You know, when you want to be perfect, failure is the worst thing that can happen to you. So you don't want to fail. So what you end up doing, you don't even try, because what if
Yeah.
you fail, right? So you keep holding back. And I've learned to drop this and just
Mm,
try and trust. This is the gift. I trust that I'm not alone, and there are these
mm,
energies around me, in me, within
mm,
me, and
mm,
without me, but they're there, and they look after me. They
yeah,
care. So it's, I used to believe God was something far away, up there,
yeah, yeah.
far, and I felt alone a lot because I couldn't connect in the way I was hoping to.
Mm,
But in this tradition, we learn that it's all in us, and these massive energies that are in the world, in the universe, are also within us, and we can call on them. You see, I don't
yeah.
like the word harness them, because I don't think we harness anything, but we make
Mm,
friend with them, and we can really work together, and it's all
absolutely.
available. I mean,
Yeah.
so I can trust the unknown now, because I know
Mm,
something will come up for me, and even if
yeah.
it's not what I was hoping for, it'll be a lesson, and I trust
Hmm.
that. I need that. So
Yeah.
this is what allowed me to move from one region to another without having a job, a house, friends. I had nothing, and yet I trusted, and now I have the best life, uh, even beyond my dreams. And it's nothing
Yeah.
special, but I appreciate everything I have because it's a gift. So
Yeah.
I guess I see things differently now, and this is a gift in itself.
Yeah.
Just, a different
And so,
vision, really.
yeah, I love it. And I love that fact because, you know, when I first knew you, you were so different.
Really? No. Me?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Needing to kind of control everything and
No,
yeah,
really.
wrap
I
wrapped
wanted
up
to
in
run
your blanket.
away. I
Yeah.
wanted to run away, Chris. I remember
Yeah, I
telling you,
know.
you said it was the path of beauty. And it is. And it is.
Yeah.
It is the path
Yeah.
of beauty. It is the path of sweetness and joy. It doesn't come without tears, but
Oh,
sacred tears for
yeah,
good. It's
exactly.
true. They are sacred tears. They are,
Yeah, exactly.
wow.
And you know, and it's the tears sometimes for me it's the tears of relief, you know, the tears of relief that we don't have to keep doing that thing that is not helping, you know, and that perfection script that means, you know, either you don't try or you try so
Yeah.
hard, you know,
Yeah.
that it wears you out. So it's like, yeah, well, we've all been trained that way. So it's unlearning what we learned. And I think that's really the essence of it. You know, if we go back to the essence of us here
Yes.
in our heart, who are we really? And
Yes.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It is. And you know what? I have met a few people now, and most people, they're around my age. I'm 50, but some people are a bit younger, a bit older. And, I was thinking, how beautiful is it to know people around our age that are still willing to say, I love you, that are still willing
Mm,
to say, I care for you, I'm here for you. And
mm,
they mean it. They really
yeah,
mean it. I
yeah,
mean, I'm like, wow, I really have
yeah,
found my tribe. And of course, I had friends before and I still have them. And it's a very strong bond. But what I'm saying
mm,
is, this is a kind of different love. It's a it's a sisterly love I feel for
yeah,
these people. And
yeah,
because we share so much and we go
yeah.
through so much together and we show
Mm,
ourselves in the most vulnerable way,
mm.
you know, uh, and there is
And
no
that's love.
filter.
No,
It
and then
is.
love comes in then. It's like the heart opens and love shows up. And that is a different kind of love. You know, this is what we call Munai, of course. And it's a different kind of love that is not sentimental, it's not gluey, just
Yeah,
like
no. No, it's nothing like that. It's true. It's
yeah,
true. It's nothing
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But
It's
it
but
is
it,
something so strong, so deep.
mm,
You
mm,
really feel it, even though you've known the person for 3 days,
yeah, exactly.
right? And
Yeah.
the shadow work was the same. How deep, how I was shocked. I mean, I had never seen
Mm,
these people. And in a few days, I mean, you show yourself in such a way, you're more than naked, really. And
mm,
how can you not love them? Because they've
yeah,
accepted you and you've accepted them.
exactly.
And so,
Yeah.
wow, it's a whole
That's
new world.
compassion.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
nice.
guess. Yeah.
So now you're going to start sharing in your community what you have learned. And how does that feel? Apart from scary.
Exciting. A little bit scary. Yeah, a little bit scary and very exciting. And
Mhm,
again, I have no idea how this will really, unfold. I have no
mhm,
idea. I trust. And you're here, and this is the proof I am never alone. Like
yeah.
I have this community around me and I feel held and I feel, okay, let's see what happens. I just want to see.
Yeah,
Again, I want to push the door and I want to share all
yeah.
this because I guess when you receive so much as I have received
Mhm,
from this medicine, you can't possibly keep it all for yourself. It's not meant to be
no.
this way anyway, and it's
Mm,
overflowing. So I want to share it. I really want to let people know there is a way, there
yeah.
is another way. And we sometimes we resign ourselves and we keep saying, well, this is life, this is me,
Mm,
this is what I have. It's not
mm,
true. It's not.
mm,
We can have different things if we're willing,
yeah,
to walk the
yeah,
path. And I want to let people know and
yeah.
maybe hold the light like you've held it for me. I would be so happy. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, I think I think you're out there doing it. So you've got um an intro day coming up or some time in September, is that right?
Yes. Absolutely. I'm trying to organize now a day, an introduction day, where I would like to let people know all that this tradition has to offer, all that this medicine has to offer, before
Mhm,
eventually organizing a Munaiki and moving on with what I can do at my level now. Because this is
mhm,
something, there is room to share our experiences. So, of course, I'm still in training. And this is something I also love about this
mhm,
school and this tradition. You don't need to be perfect before you start just sharing your experience. From my point of view, it is my experience.
mhm.
But who knows? Maybe some other people might find it interesting and might want to push the door
Yeah,
and,
yeah, exactly.
find something else. I mean, start the medicine wheel in France or in England. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah, if I can give my contribution to that, I will be so, so, so happy. Absolutely.
Great. So I think I think what I love about hearing your story is that it's everybody's story, you know. It's my story, it's your story, it's everybody's story. It's like, could I really do this? Could I really be this? Could I have the life, this blessed life where, and it isn't about money and fame and all of that. It's about living from the heart and
Yeah.
and being open and vulnerable and connected. And I think, isn't that the most beautiful thing?
I would say it is. And if I may add something to that, I would like this to be clear because my friends sometimes are surprised, like, oh, you still have problems. I do. Life still happens. And, but this is the thing,
Really?
you see, life still happens, but I'm not the same person. And
Mm,
I see life in a different way. And even though, even recently, I've been through hard times in my life,
mm,
I still could see the beauty and I could still see the love of
yeah.
everything that happened. And
Mm,
this is something different. This is not something I could have done a couple of years ago. This is why, you know, life doesn't become the perfect thing sometimes we want it to be. It stays the chaotic, adventurous, wonderful thing it is, but we are not the same anymore.
I totally get that. I totally agree with that, you know, because like you say, life happens, but it happens for us, not
Yes,
to us.
of
And I
course.
think, and then, you know, we grow from everything that's gifted to us. We grow from that if we're willing to. And we have, and this is the beautiful thing, we have these archetypical energies that we work with, the tools and practices that we have, means that no matter what, we can sit like a Buddha in the middle of chaos. Just be still,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
true.
and not react and fall into depressions or rage or whatever. You know, there's a harmony that is in us that then we become what I would like to call safe people to be around, you know. So we're not going to be, and yes, you know, yes, we do get angry. Yes, we do get upset.
Yeah.
Yes, we are human and we have all
Yeah.
of those emotions available to us. But at the core, because of our practices, we can not take life so seriously or personally.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess, you know, when we have kids, but even for our friends and family, you know, we become examples in a way. Like people have seen me change through this time. And I have a daughter. Our relationship grew in such a beautiful, graceful way. And she sees me and she sees how I go through life and through difficulties in life. And she drinks from it. And, you know, it is the best thing ever because I see how this ripples out.
Absolutely.
And I don't need to do anything special, just be me. And this is the thing that I appreciate. It's one of the things I appreciate, but I can just be me. And that's enough, you know. Years ago I wanted to have a special gift. And I was very upset that I didn't have a gift. Yeah. I was like, oh gosh, why
what you
don't I
didn't
have a
realize,
gift?
what you didn't realize, Barbara, is that you are the it's like we are funny creatures, but yeah, I get that. Well, it's time for us to finish, but it's been a real pleasure to talk to you and to
It's been a
listen to
pleasure
your
for me,
story.
Chris.
And
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing how your introductory days and your sharing goes. And as an apprentice to the team here in the UK in Spirit of the Inca, it's also lovely to work with you. So
thank you, Chris. Thank you for everything you do, you've done, you're doing, for your support and encouragement, for your humor, which is priceless. So thank you for everything, really. It's such a pleasure, such an honor. Thank you very, very much.